Hi, I'm John, and I collect cards. And I thought I would take a few minutes here just to show some of my favorite break hits that I've gotten online in breaks in the last year and a half or so since I've been in the hobby. Without further ado, I've got a top 10, I guess you could say. I've loosely ranked them. But there are actually 11 cards because number 10 is going to be two cards I'm going to share first. And here they are. One is an autograph of Topps 5-star Brooks Robinson base, and another one Topps 5-star, another Hall of Famer, Jim Thome, who also started at third base actually in his career, I believe, and then became the first baseman we all knew. Got to know and saw him, hit 600 plus home runs. This one's numbered out of 25. Blue Parallel. 5-star quickly became one of my favorite products last year. It was the first time I really got to know what 5-star was about in terms of the quality of the checklist. And Brooks was in my first break that I did, a player break. And when he came up, I was like, oh man, this is good. So, I was kind of on my way in terms of a few more breaks. And I picked up eventually a pretty nice collection of 5-star autos. I bought a few, hit a few others. These two are my favorites. So that's number 10. Number 9 was in a Topps Gold Label break. And I know Gold Label's not really, I guess, super popular. And it's, I think it's an easy product to get into because of the price point. It's, you can get a box for about $100, maybe just over. You're guaranteed an auto. It's gold framed, although I think the framing of it these days is maybe not what it used to be in terms of just like appeal. Like I almost wish it was a silver frame or like a brushed metal kind of thing. But the gold frame is still kind of, it's unique, so that's cool. And this one was a particularly nice hit, I thought. This is Ryan Mountcastle, numbered 14 out of 50, blue parallel. Oriole rookie last year. Has emerged as a pretty good slugger. See if he can keep it going. I'm not sure if the Orioles are going to turn it around anytime soon, but Mountcastle's career is off to a pretty nice start. He slumped in the first half somewhat and really started picking it up in the second half, and I think showed some flashes of who he's going to become here, perhaps long term, hopefully for his sake and his team's. So this was a nice hit. Ryan Mountcastle. It is a nice card. It is, like I said, unique. I did pick up some more along the way, mostly through breaks, actually. I did buy one in particular that I really enjoyed that I might show off in another video. I'm thinking about showing off the autos that I bought that most appealed to me. It's another video I'm toying with that I might put on here at some point. But Mountcastle's number 9. Nice one there. Number 8 is from Topps Finest last year and was a potential Hall of Famer or a likely Hall of Famer and is now a Hall of Famer. That's David Ortiz, Big Papi. It's got a very interesting signature. So this is from the Finest Moments insert. It's the base insert. It's not numbered. But still a very cool signature. I picked this up in a Jabs break, actually. I think I had, at least one box I picked up in his break. I bought in his break, and this is one of the autos he pulled for me. I was pretty excited about that. So, thank you, Jabs. Number 8 there. Number 7 is from another product that quickly became a favorite of mine last year, and I'm looking forward to it again this spring. Probably will dabble in some more player breaks because the price point for a box is just, it's not out of my reach, but it's an uncomfortable buy at, $4 to $4.50 a pop. That's Topps Tribute, and did pretty well in some team breaks there last year. I was mostly doing team breaks at that point. And again, I'm reeling the breaking back this year. Actually, I kind of got my fill of it last year, but I did, had a few nice, a decent haul for, I think, for the year that I, thought to make this video and just wanted to sort of share some pretty sweet cards. And here's one of them right here. Ozzy Smith, numbered 55 of 99. This is the Tribute to Topps parallel, or Tribute to Topps, line of autographs. This isn't the standard tribute auto from last year. It's one of the kind of specials, I guess, of several they had. Several specials. Probably the biggest special last year was that piece of the Green Monster auto series, which were really cool. I wish I would have hit that. It would have been amazing. But this was a really sweet card. I picked up a second one of these as well that I ended up trading for another card that I really enjoy having. But this one, Ozzy Smith's got super sweet signature, classic. The 1975 design speaks for itself. Just a really great design and colorful, just pops. Love this card. Love this card. Really nice. So I was excited to get that one. Number 6 is going to be a top rookie that kind of emerged from last year that, you know, his career got off to a pretty nice start, and it's a Topps Chrome auto, which is, I guess, really the one that folks want to have the most. And it's a World Series winning rookie, actually, from last year, and it's Ian Anderson of the Braves. Aqua Parallel to 199. 137 of 199. This was a nice hit. It was a redemption. Came in pretty quickly, actually. Thank you, Mr. Anderson, for following up with Topps on that. Real nice auto. His career's off to a really good start. He's, he threw 5 no-hit innings, I think, in his World Series start. Was an important part of that rotation, and, will be, I imagine, for years going forward. And they're probably going to need to lean on him even more if they're, I've lost Freddie Freeman, it looks like, although Matt Olson's pretty good himself. But he's going to have some shoes to fill in Atlanta. But Ian Anderson, nice auto here. I was excited to pick this one up in a break. Next one is another one I was really excited to pick up in a break. Well, all of them are, but this one, it was, I can't remember how it worked out. The breaker basically said he pulled this guy in his last video for the product, and then he pulled him again for me. And he said, I guess just speak his name into existence, I remember him saying, and it was Luis Robert of the Chicago White Sox. This guy, Luis, is just a really exciting player to watch. I mean, as you all know, true 5-tool kind of guy. He was unfortunately hurt for a decent part of last year, and hopefully he'll stay healthy this year over a full 162 games, thankfully. I was worried about that for a while, if we were going to get to have a whole season. But this is numbered 94 of 100. This is an on-card auto, which makes it even more exciting because a lot of the Inception autos are sticker autos, which, they're usually the patch autos, which are pretty sweet and unique for this. That's the main kind of hallmark of Inception products, I think, for the autos. But I was excited to get this as an on-card auto. This is number, again, 94 out of 100. And the number 94 actually kind of resonates with me in a bunch of ways that, isn't really applicable for this video, but when I got it and when I saw that number, I'm like, okay, this is probably going to stay in my collection. Anyway, excited to get this one. 94, my favorite hockey teams, the New York Rangers, they won the Cup that year. I graduated from college in 1994. You got the pictures, a few other 94s out there that are just sort of coincidental in my life for whatever reason. So when that came through, I'm like, okay, that's a keeper. Luis Robert. I got 4 left here I'm going to show you, and one of them is going to take a little while to get out because I have not gotten the right one touch to put this in. It was a redemption. It was from Topps Museum Collection last year, and it was this. This is my first book card I've ever had. So, it's going to get dinked a little bit probably in this thing until I get it in a one touch, but it's not going to go anywhere because it's my first book card I've ever had. It's pretty cool. It was a redemption. Came through. It didn't take too long for it to come in. It came in not long after the season ended. I'll pop it out of here. It's not like Mike Trout or one of the biggest names that did these atelier autographs, but it's a nice card. The picture, actually, I think is one of the... I've seen several of the other photos that these things open up to, and this one, I think, is actually one of the sweeter shots. More likely than not because of the park he plays in, but... and here it is. Get rid of that little center thing. And it is Wilson Contreras of the Chicago Cubs. The one guy they didn't trade last year, and they're going to... I don't know if they're going to build around him, per se, but, he's not a Hall of Fame catcher yet, by any means, and he probably won't be unless he really picks it up. But he's had a pretty decent career so far. He is one of the better catchers in the National League. He doesn't hit for great average, but he's steady. He's got some good pop. He's kind of a key cog in that lineup, and probably will be more in the clubhouse these days. I really like how he signed. He's got the initial signature. So many of the current players now, they don't sign their full name anymore, which I wish they did. But and his brothers, I have a 5-star auto of his brother William Contreras. It's practically identical, but that's fine. But I love that he signed it in the sky. So he didn't sign it like out here somewhere where it wouldn't be seen as much. So I love that he took a moment to like put it there, put his ink there. So that was this is just a really sweet card with Wrigley Field. I love this card. I mean, if you want to call it a card, it's really a little book. My first book card. So I just wanted to show that off. I didn't mind doing that. So this is numbered out of 25, by the way. 12 out of 25 right down there, you can see. So Willson Contreras of the Cubbies. Super excited to get that one in a break. And a teaser here. I've got another museum collection hit to show off from the same break, actually. That'll be coming up here momentarily. And I hope you like that one here. But first, I got a couple of other ones to show first. So I got 3 more. Number 3 came from what I think is my favorite set of all of last year. Liked it so much that I ended up collecting the entire set of the base cards. And that was Topps Chrome Black. Late season, I think it was only the second year of the product. Wasn't expecting much. Like I went in one break, I was like, okay, they look interesting. On like the cardboard connection. It's like, why not? Definitely, you get 4 cards in a box for $100 or more. I was like, I'm not buying that product, but I'll dive in a player break. Why not? And I honestly can't remember who I hit the first time, but when they came back, the base cards were, it was an incredible product, I thought, for a baseball card. But they were just, very tactile, that matte black finish. It was just a unique product. I mean, I think Panini has some kind of black product like that as well, but it really jumped out for Topps, I thought. So I liked them so much, I ended up collecting the whole set, picked away at it. The parallels, I thought they did really well in the bottom left corner of the base cards. I don't have one to show you offhand because they're packed away right now, but that was I did put that together here this winter, but along the way I picked up some autos, and this one I got in a break and I was really excited about, and sorry for that big build up here, but here it is. This is Tyler Stevenson, now second year catcher, rookie card here, rookie auto, red parallel, so a color match, numbered to 5. 4 of 5, Tyler Stevenson. Now, this is my second Stevenson auto. I have a 1986 style Top Series 1 auto of his from last year, base of that, not a parallel, not a parallel, but not numbered. And that's just a sweet card. Again, another signature auto, but it's a pretty distinctive initial auto. I mean, and when I think he's got a shot to emerge as a pretty consistently good hitting catcher. The signs of that are very positive. And they're trading some of their players here. It looks like they just traded Eugenio Suarez and Jesse Winker to Seattle. So they're going to be leaning on this guy a little bit more, I think. Now that Tucker Barnhart's in Detroit, Tyler Stevenson's the guy, and more, he's going to be one of the key guys in that lineup. So good luck to him this year in the Reds. Tyler Stevenson, 4 out of 5, red parallel auto. Was really psyched to get this one. So that's number 3. Now number 2 and number 1 are actually non-autos. The only non-autos I thought to show here. And most people will flip the order of these 2 that I'll show. But for me, it's the number 1 to me is the distinct number 1. I just can't get around it. But for number 2, this one obviously definitely has more potential, and probably has most potential of any of the cards I'm showing you here. So I had a chance to chase Wander just before Series 1 came out in Bowman's Best. I decided to kind of go for it, and on just 2 boxes of Bowman's Best in a break, got incredibly lucky and hit this. Green parallel, Wander Franco, Bowman's Best, numbered 78 out of 99. Can't remember who the breaker was who did it. He was based out in Iowa, I believe. Went when I ended up getting, well, it just worked out. Let's just put it that way. Clearly it did. Um, well, as I mentioned, I mentioned the number 94. I remember when I bid my bid for this break. I can't remember what the number I put in. Again, I was sort of like, feeling it that night. And then I ended up getting the raise in a break for $94, and I was like, oh, that's a good sign. Let's see what happens. Sure enough, this came out of that break. Another interesting thing about this number 78, right here, the serial number, that was my first year of collecting cards. I was 5 years old. 1978 Topps is one of my favorite sets of all time, and it's because it's my first set I've really collected as a kid. But my dad would bring packs home every day. So this just has lots of things working for it. I'm not a total like number guy, but sometimes there's just coincidences of stuff where it's like they're hard to ignore. This is just a beautiful card. Just a beautiful. The parallels in this set were incredible. I went in on a couple more breaks. I ended up buying my own box of this, and I kind of gulped and swallowed when I did it because it was over $300. And it wasn't a good box, to be honest. The autos I got Christian Hernandez as an auto actually from the Cubs, but it was base. All my autos were base, and that was the best one. I got a lava parallel of like Francisco Lindor, which I sold for barely anything. Got a Mountcastle Atomic rookie. That wasn't too bad. But anyway, from the break one of the breaks I was in for this, I got this, and I just was, I'm just blabbing about my experience about Bowman's Best to show off this card a little bit more. It's just a beautiful card. You could do the eBay research and see what these things are going for right now. And, it's a Beckett rookie, I'm calling it. Beckett's considering all the Bowman's Best from this past year rookie cards, and that's a debate that people will have probably for years. And I think really the only case you might truly want to make about that, where it might apply, is for this guy, because he played almost half the season. And he did well. So in a sense, it came out the year he played. It's almost like an update kind of rookie for him. Some people in the hobby, some hobbyists are going to consider this as a rookie card. And are already saying that. I think they're probably going to be in the minority over time, but I think a large enough contingent of them will be saying that over time that, this guy turns out to be the guy that everybody's saying he is. We'll see. Wander Franco, green parallel, Bowman's Best 21. Wow. Okay, number one. Again, that was probably going to be everybody's number one, but this is my number one. Best break hit I've gotten. Favorite/best. What could possibly beat that? Well, it would have to be a 1-of-1, probably, right? And yeah, this one is a 1-of-1. It's not an autograph, though, like I hinted before. But, I mentioned before 1978 from that last card you just saw was my first year in collecting. I grew up in New York. So you put 1978 and New York together, and it adds up to the Bronx Zoo Yankees, which, that was my formative years baseball team. I'm a Yankees fan. It started then. And I became a big fan, even though at 5 or 6 years old, was young enough, but still old enough to remember, the captain of that team. And he just seemed to get big hits. Not that I'm like following the strategy of the game at 5 and 6 years old so much. Reggie Jackson was hitting home runs, and Greg Nettles, lefty in Yankee Stadium hitting home runs, and Ron Guidry was a fantastic pitcher, but the guy he was pitching to, you watch the games on YouTube these days, you relive it a little bit, and Thurman Munson was just the man. Mr. Clutch just always seemed to get the big double when you needed it, or the big single. And he just, the presence he had on that team. And it's just the irony is he was looking to leave New York for so long. He wanted to go back home to Cleveland in a trade. And, in a way, thankfully, they never did. But gosh almighty, it's just so sad. Every year, August 2nd rolls around. 1979 when he lost his life in a plane crash. But needless to say, I'm a Thurman Munson PC collector. And I put in the same break that I got the Contreras book card. I put in for the Munson and had him in the break. And this came up in the break. 1-of-1, Thurman Munson, primary pieces, legends. So it's the gold parallel, I guess, so they went with gold for the 1-of-1 in these. I think for the legends, they went with gold. For the current players, I think they went emerald green for the parallel here. A little bit of me wishes they did emerald green here too. I think it might have looked really cool, but they ended up going gold for the legends as the 1/1. I think copper. I think there's only 2 parallels, and copper was like the first tier parallel, and this was the 1/1. Yeah, it's a quad bat relic, Thurman Munson. It's not a jersey. That would have been super, super cool, but the bat is still cool. It's just a 1/1 Thurman Munson. You look in here, there's you can see the ridge of the bat, sort of bumps up a little bit. So it's a pretty nice piece of bat. You can't really get it in here, but yeah, 1/1 of Thurman Munson. This came up in the same break as that book card of Contreras and 2 catchers, I guess. Yeah, this is my favorite break hit I've gotten, and I know I've kind of just talked quite a bit over 20 minutes showing 10 cards, 11 cards, but I hope you've enjoyed this little kind of recap of my favorite break hits of the last year and a half. If you made it this far, thanks for watching along as I've been talking along here. As you can tell, I really enjoy this hobby, and when I get the big, when I do get my, get lucky and hit something pretty nice, I truly treasure it, and more times than none, 90 times out of 100 or 9 times out of 10, I won't look to sell them. Occasionally, I will sell something that I hit, but this one in particular, this one isn't going anywhere. Anyway, Thurman Munson, New York Yankees. I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. Thanks again, and thanks for being part of the hobby. It's a fun thing. Take care. Bye.